Hey Capricorn! So today we're going to go over your monthly forecast for February of 2018. Before we get into that, I want to let you know that I will be doing a Valentine's Day special on self-love. So if you're interested in getting that reading, go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss out. And so yeah, we'll go into your February 2018 forecast. That is going to include how the month is going to go for you, obstacles to keep in mind throughout the month, how you can overcome them, strengths that you have that you can leverage throughout the month, overall guidance that you need, practical action steps that you can take, and all that good stuff. So for February 2018, I get that overall it's going to be a good month. It's really just going to kind of be an average month, I think, for you guys. I see you guys like working throughout the month and like trying to make some progress and getting things done, but I don't really see it being a particularly phenomenal month in the sense that I don't see like a lot of excitement happening for you. I see you guys getting results and like moving forwards towards your goals, but and you will get some wins because you are going to be progressing, you are going to be getting results, but for the most part, like it's just not a particularly exciting month for you guys. So I see like basically the month is going to start off fine and then it will continue to get better for the first half, and then I kind of see like the second half of the month being where it plateaus, I guess you could say. Not in terms of your progress, but just in terms of the excitement and like how you feel. That's just kind of when it starts to become more average. So even though it's not a particularly exciting month, it's still a good month. And I see, like I said, the first half of the month starts off good and then it gets better. And then the second half of the month, stays stable, plateaus, but stays stable. And then going into March, you guys are going to go into March well. So I don't see any hiccups there. I see like really just it being positive, like you going into March in a very positive way. So in terms of what you guys need to let go of for the month, so like I said, you are going to have a good month and you are going to have success. Things are going to be moving in the direction that you would like them to. It's just not going to be a particularly exciting month. And because of that, because there isn't like a real excitement, it can lead to a little bit of discouragement or maybe questioning yourself and whether you're going in the right direction. And so the thing that you need to let go of is needing to see results all the time and needing to have those results be there to validate yourself. You need to be okay with the fact that sometimes you're going to be working towards something and the results just aren't going to be as big as you would like them to be, and that's just kind of how it is. But that does not mean that you're on the wrong path. It doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. It doesn't mean that you necessarily need to change your strategy. All it means is that you need to continue doing what you're doing, because sometimes it takes a little while to build momentum. And so just keep doing what you guys are doing. Just keep working. The needle is moving. You're going to see it. It's just not going to move as much as you would like it to, but it is moving. So just trust that what you're doing is right, and just keep going. And just don't use like metrics and results as much to validate whether you're going in the right direction. Just trust that you are, and just know that sometimes it takes a little while for results to show up, and that's okay. And some months you're just not going to get as big of results as you want, but you are still building towards something. You are still building something important, and it is going to add up later. So basically just be patient and don't let metrics and don't let the needle not moving as quickly as you want discourage you or make you question yourself. So in terms of obstacles that I see for you guys for February of 2018, I see that there's going to be a little bit of stress that you guys are going to be dealing with in the middle of the month. And yeah, so basically like I said earlier, the month overall is going to be fine. And then going into the beginning of the month, like I said, it's going to be fine. And then things are going to get better towards like in the first half of the month. And I think that as things get better, you're actually going to build up some stress internally, because it's like things are getting better and you really want to push forward. And so it's like you feel like things are getting better and you're really wanting them to get better, and results are starting to show, but you want to keep them showing. Like you want to keep the results like coming, and you want to keep your progress like going in an upward direction. And all of that is just going to kind of build up into some momentum that's also going to be stressful for you guys. And you may end up hitting like a bit of a breaking point at that point where, there's going to be a breaking point where if you were like yeah, I guess like that stress might break you a little bit. And I think it's important that you manage it well, because when I say breaking point, I do get that it is, it could be a breaking point. It could be a situation where there's a lot of stress, and if you don't manage it well and you allow it to break you, it could set you back. It could make you want to give up on what you're working on almost entirely. Yeah, so, but it is something that you can manage. So if you just stay aware of the like if you are just aware of the fact that this breaking point is going to happen, you can manage it so that you stay in a positive mindset as it's happening. You keep yourself upbeat. You understand in your mind that this is just a stressful moment and it's going to pass. And because it will pass. Like if you guys manage this well, if you guys stay upbeat, you can overcome this. And like I said earlier, basically, like what you guys are working on right now is working. It's just that the results are not going to show to the extent that you would like them to show right now, but you are building something for later. So if you just keep that in mind and use that knowledge that this is going to work out for you guys, as you go through this breaking point, it won't break you. And then you will be able to pull in more success later on. Okay, this is just like, because March could be a good month for you guys. Like I'm not looking into March right now, but I don't see any kind of issues going into March. I feel like it's going to be a nice transition for you guys. So just manage this breaking point. Just know that in the middle of the month, you guys are going to have like just a stressful period. And yeah, managers, keep upbeat, just be aware of it. And I think you guys will be just fine. So in terms of the strength that you guys can use and leverage for February of 2018, it's actually a really good one for the obstacle that you guys are going to be dealing with in February. So you guys are going to have this breaking point, right? This potential breaking point. It doesn't have to be one if you manage it, but a moment of stress in the middle of the month that will either make you or break you. And so the strength that Capricorns have is the ability to just take in disappointments and digest it and carry on. Capricorn's just like, anytime a disappointment comes your way, like you guys can just, yeah, it's just like, it's basically like the mountain goat. You guys can basically, disappointments come your way, you acknowledge that they exist, and you have this ability to separate it in your head. Like, you know that this is disappointing, and yes, of course it affects you emotionally, but you have the ability to carry on, power through it regardless. And it's not that it doesn't affect you, but just you guys are able to split it into your head so that you keep moving forward and doing what you need to do despite the fact that you are slightly disappointed. And that's what I mean by you guys have the ability to just take in disappointments and digest them and carry on. So that is the perfect strength that you guys need for that moment of like make it or break it. Just when you're in that moment, you know, it's a disappointment, and just leverage your strength. You guys are really good at this. Just in that moment, just be like, you know what? Yeah, okay, results aren't happening the way I want them to, or, you know, I've really been pushing and like, you know, trying to move the needle, and I'm kind of tiring myself out, and, you know, maybe I can't do this. Yeah, but just remind yourself that, you know what, this is just a disappointment, one of many in life. Life is all about like problems and solving them. That's what it is. Like no area of your life ever is problemless. Like you reach a happy place in one area of your life, and then another area has a problem. And then when that area of your life is resolved and like in a good place, then this area of your life has a problem. And basically our whole life is about being problem solvers, not just for you guys, but everybody. So, and then Capricorns just have a really unique ability to just power through all of that. That's what makes you guys so successful. So don't allow this moment to make or break you. I mean, allow this moment to make you. Don't allow it to break you, because that is just not who you are. You are not somebody that gets broken. You are somebody who powers through everything. You're somebody who knows what it takes to be successful. You're somebody who will do what it takes to be successful. So just leverage that strength, power through, and this will pay off. In terms of practical action steps that you can take, so as I've said, the first half of the month, things are going to progress and get better. And during that time period, you're gonna be feeling fine, right? Things are moving, you're just kind of doing your thing, just progressing. That's all that you're thinking about, is just progressing and letting the results come in as they will. Like at that point in time, your mind is just thinking, you're not thinking so much about the results. You're just thinking, I'm just going to get my product or whatever output that you're trying to create. Maybe it's marketing content or whatever it is. You're just trying to get it out there. You're just trying to be consistent. You're just trying to keep working. And you don't really care so much about the results. Of course you care, but in your head, you're really just focusing on getting the work done. It's when we hit that middle of the month, when things are starting, when the momentum's starting to build and then it drops, right? That's when the problems can potentially arise if you don't manage it right. That's when you'll start thinking like, oh, I just like need to take a break. I just need to step away from this. And I'm just getting that you can take a break, but don't take more than a couple days off, because if you do take more than a couple days off, you may not start back. You may not like continue to work on this business. You may end up just like dropping it entirely and then basically not working on anything that will take you to the level in life that you want to be in. So that's why I'm saying, like, a lot of times I encourage taking breaks, because I believe that a lot of success comes when you are not like pushing yourself, when you're not trying too hard, when it's fun, when you're inspired. But for you guys, I'm getting that you should not take more than a couple days off, because you don't want to lose your momentum, because you're building for the first half of the month, right? And then when you have that moment, and if you were to stop after that point, that's where you would be. Like, you would stop seeing, your results would basically slow down after that, right? But if you keep building past that momentum, past that like breaking point, and you keep going, you don't take days off, like, you will again start to build. But if you stop at that point, like, if you don't keep producing output, you're not going to keep getting results. So that's why you can't stop, because the fact that you weren't getting the results you wanted will become a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you have now stopped working on your business, and you will just continue to stop getting results. So I hope that made sense. Basically, power through it, okay? Use the strength, okay? You guys are built to power through things. You're built to do what it takes to achieve success. So use the strength. And yeah, just be that like hardworking person that you are, and just power through it and just trust, okay? And then also try to, so in the beginning, like I said, you have this mindset of just trying to produce output and not caring about the results as much. That is what's driving you. And the results are just like a little cherry on top. The second half of the month, that is going to be a harder mindset for you guys to have. But that would be another action step for you guys, is try to continue to be in the mindset of, I am just going to carry on. The results will prove themselves later. But if I stop now, I will never get any results of any kind. So I just need to continue moving on, just continue progressing. The results will come, and I will get new data. And if I need to tweak whatever I've been doing, I will have the data, because I will be getting feedback through my results slowly but surely. But I actually think you guys are on the right track. I don't think you guys need to tweak too much. So just keep doing what you're doing and try to maintain that mindset for the second half of the month going into March. And I think that's really important advice for you guys to hear. In terms of the overall guidance that I get for you guys for February of 2018, I get that basically you guys can do this. You guys have what it takes to keep going, and you really should keep going with whatever it is that you're doing, because you're on the right track. So just keep going, just keep powering through. Don't let results affect your perception of yourself or whatever you're working on. And just do what you do best. Power through, keep working, keep producing output. And right now, that is really what matters, like just producing output and staying that way and trying to be in the best mindset as possible. So I hope this guidance was helpful. If you haven't already hit subscribe, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you have any comments or questions, leave them below the description box. And until my next video.